Micros module actually interface with Opera?
It does.
Okay, so when a guest charges in a restaurant, it will actually post on the guest folio their room charge.
Yes.
So that's a good thing, because then they can pay for that
So
on their folio when they check out.
So one of the things that I saw, which raised a red flag for me, was that we had checks coming in through the cage, and we were booking them then.
To revenue, right?
To revenue.
Instead of when it happened.
Right. So that
So-
that to me didn't make any
Right,
sense.
and part of it is they wouldn't allow, trucking never allowed direct billing. So you had to pay for the event at the time the event took place. So when we came in, we said, no, we want to give more options, right? Without realizing that piece of it, that they
So-
weren't running it through
So that would be
Opera.
for a banquet.
banquets.
Okay, so
And
my,
things that are non-hotel related.
right, so my next question would be, is there are they using the banquet setup in Opera, the BEO and the sales and catering module?
See, I don't know.
Because see, they should, you can,
So do you guys run things through there, even if
Absolutely.
it's not hotel related?
Yep, we
Okay,
run
so
banquets, run
that's
through it.
probably not being utilized then.
yeah, so that's what you guys will have to work on getting that set up, so you can run all your checks
Do you,
through.
can I write some, does anyone have a piece of paper and pencil?
And I'll show you guys what the BEO side of it looks like.
Okay.
We'll look at a banquet,
Okay,
and, so the room charges, everything looks good, then you guys are probably, well, when you switch over to InfoGenesis, you'll have to get the InfoGenesis module in Opera, so you can do the same thing for your room charges. And then you'll have to have a PMS system in banquets, so when they ring in their banquet menus, it goes into Opera, and you can do it that way too. I'll show you like,
how that works.
yeah. This is just one folio that has it has room revenue route, like, so we take a group and you assign it one posting master.
Okay,
Basically, the same idea as a room number for a guest folio, but it's assigned a posting master that you can do all your charges to. So this guest, Western Pacific Bowling, was able to charge all their rooms, all their room revenue, and all of their food and beverage postings. They were able to just charge to one invoice.
so just to back up a second, you said it's a BEO module?
Banquet event order, yeah. Sales and catering and Opera. And let me get into that, because that sounds like where we probably need to be focusing on. So you see this little tab right here that says sales and catering? That's the module in Opera that you guys probably need to do your... And you can manage all business aspects of all your customer clients through this sales and catering module. You got your accounts, everything. Function diary. I mean, if you go into the function diary to tell you exactly what time and where you put the space at. So your business blocks is where you're going to create your events. So, like, here's a conference that we have created for the end of January. So sales goes in, they put in, this does everything. I mean, you do your room nights, your rates, your events. See where it has events? So see, there's no events created for this event.
So
no
they,
banquet.
sales creates this in advance?
Mhm.
Okay.
And and then they usually send, the way it works with us is they take care of the food and beverage side of things, and I take care of the hotel. So they'll send me down a request for the block and how many rooms and what rate they're gonna sell. That way I can keep track of what they're selling my hotel for and how many rooms they're taking. The banquet side of it would go, of course, to food and beverage. So let's find one that has a banquet with it, and I'll show you when I'm talking. Okay, chamber. So you can see this has a banquet because you can see where it has $1,200 in food revenue booked for it. Right in Opera, it tells you right there the revenue that we have. So if you go into events, there's the luncheon. So it'll tell you the luncheon that you have, the room that they have. Let's see the people that they have, the price they have. So if you go into reports, so you create this menu. That's a whole different. You guys don't need really. But if you go into BEO, this is what a banquet event order would look like for this group. So this is what food and beverage knows to make, and this is what the food and beverage supervisors knows to ring an Infogenesis into the posting master. So it'd be a chamber luncheon. The soup is a price of $12 plus included approval. So you have 100 people at $12 a person,
So that's all system generated.
system
That's-
generated.
Once you input your menu into the sales and catering, you can actually, can actually create.
So this way, look, not only does food and beverage, they know, not only does banquets know kitchen knows what food and what they're having, they also know how to set the room up. Because you got room setup fee, visual audio fee, I mean, everything's right there. So you can see, because we even charge for this stuff too. But as you can see with this event, it was complimentary.
And due to that number.
So in
So
Infogenesis,
ours is just an Excel spreadsheet.
right.
Okay.
So you can't actually book your checks into the Opera system because they'd have to go through your cage because how would the hotel offset them? There would be no way for them to do it.
Got nothing set up there.
They got nothing set up there.
And by doing this through Opera, you know that room tax aspect that we're waiting on for how much convention rooms did we send because we want that line item broken out? You wouldn't have to wait for that anymore. You just pull it right from Opera.
So our food and beverage supervisor, when this banquet is over, this BEO is signed, that thing I just showed you, it was signed that posting master, which let's just say it wasn't the posting master, same thing as a room number, but it'd be like 9012. So she would go in and do a room charge to 9012, soup and salad bar buffet at $100 or $12 per person. Bam. That would go through the interface into Opera, into that posting master, and now the customer would be able to go to the hotel and pay for their banquet, and then would go into a hotel bank.
So then, this would just streamline everything, because then we wouldn't be waiting for paperwork for gratuities for employees or anything.
She rings
because it's
gratuities
all-
right into the-
It's all there, it's
Correct.
done at the
So the customers, the gratuity and the banquet charges would be a one item line charge over to Opera.
Oh, well, yeah, the charge.
Infogenesis, you'd bring the two up separate. Because you have
You're
gratuity.
recording this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'd have the two, because in Infogenesis, she rings up the banquet, and then she rings up the
And then
gratuity
it clears
separate.
it through the room charge,
Right.
and then it hits the. Posting.
So the customer's not paying, they won't see, they'll just know what they got charged.
Yeah.
They're gonna pay what they got charged. Let me see if I can find one that has already came and gone and passed, and I think we got one.
I don't even know if we have that, sales and catering.
Yeah, you guys, because you got, I mean, if you go into,
I'm trying to think of what our home screen looks like, and I've just only gone into that.
you don't have the 30.
PMS for
I
the
know, it's like I was
miscellaneous
telling you, I never looked
reports.
for the sales and catering modules, so I don't even know if you have it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
because you have to take your, if you have the sales and catering, see how you have the catering we just were rolling on a new banquet menu in the first, so I had to just sit down and redo the whole banquet menu. So you gotta go into Opera and physically put in the menu choices so you can see as all of our menus are here. So a dinner buffet, sales can book any of these dinner buffets, and here's a price. Here's what it includes. So then when they book
Why
all
would
that,
we not use this?
and then you can track all your revenue.
And if there's your cost of sales, all that.
Yeah, it's got all the information right there, instead of asking someone and it takes a couple days for them to get back to you, and then just leads to having to ask
And then,
someone else.
and then you just have food and beverage meetings and go over your BEOs to make sure your setup and your kitchen's on staff, your banquet's on staff. They all go over the BEO with a sales manager, and easy peasy.
Yeah, and
Let's see if I can find one that is passed that we've actually took payment on, so you guys can see.
But the only bad thing about Opera, you can't backdate. So if
Yeah.
something happens, like say on the 30th, and for whatever reason, there is no backdating. You cannot go back.
You have to correct it.
Yeah, you'll have to keep the folio open, and then you'll have to correct it again in Infogenesis.
So if it
it'll
goes
go
over
through
into the
and-
month and you don't post it till November 1st, there is no way
Yeah,
of moving it.
you want to make sure when you do month end that you close you settle everything you can settle, because otherwise it'll roll into the next month.
And whose function is it settling it? Is that?
My night auditor does it. She does month end for me, and then.
Yeah.
And we're gonna we'll talk about it separately, but we'll talk about the audit function, because that's
Yeah.
something that came up that, we're relying on the.
Right, we don't have a hotel audit in accounting.
Right.
It's all.
Right. And that's part of what came up earlier, so we'll talk a little bit after we finish up with this.
Okay.
Let me go into. Yeah, so this is the module that you guys you want to look and see if they got. And I don't know if with your version of Opera, it might be something that you guys are trying to upgrade. I don't know. I haven't talked to Jonathan about. But
So you're what, version 5.0?
yeah,
Well, we had one pack since then, right, since the upgrade?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you go back to that screen because it had a service pack at
Yeah.
the top.
it's
Is it 5.0.15?
yeah, 5.0.05 /15. Okay, and then let's go into, I'm going to show you guys one that we cleared. So, Control F4. This is a good screen too with the dashboard. Let's go.
I love that screen. That is a
Right.
great screen in Opera. So,
Let's check banquet that's already came. December's a big banquets month, so we have a lot in December if we want to look at. Christmas parties.
and November was big too for, she said.
Change the year. Opera won't let you go.
Do you want me to go pull the banquet audit and see if, which was the last banquet we posted?
We want to look at a banquet audit? We'll give you that too. We'll look at
We
the
could-
audit
we could
section.
probably do that. I mean, for right now, we could more or less talk about the, I think, this, talk about the system, and then we can talk about audits afterwards.
Forgot my glasses in my office.
What are you looking?
Oh, I'm looking for one of our banquets. But here's the problem with Opera, though, too. So, well, it's not a problem, but you got to remember when you have a banquet and you check out the posting master, that posting master now goes back in inventory, just like it would if it was a room to sell. So you can't go back into that group and look at you have to go into actual Opera system and look up that group through the dashboard. So if I went back into that, you got to go to the posting master, like the room, like it's just like a room number, like looking up an old room number. So let's see. Let's get out of there. I think I have any open ones without any.
Well, here's an easy way to find one. Do you have access to our ship? Look at the flash. The big flash. It's got the banquet names and dates.
Yeah, we record the names and stuff, the banquets in the flash,
Yeah.
but, may not be the same names.
Prominence is a good one. 12. Yeah, 12/6. All right. So here's one. So a folio gets checked in, or a posting master gets checked into Opera just like a room.
Okay.
So you can see this is like this would typically be the name of the guest,
Okay.
their information, their arrival date. So this would be a 1-day use, and the room type, instead of it being actually like a king room, would be a PM, which is a posting master.
Okay.
So when
When we pull information, that's how we.
So it actually is assigned to, that's how Infogenesis knows when she does the posting, she knows the post 9002. So you go room chart, well, the room number would be 9002, and she would know that would be for Prominence Healthcare. So you have to know, when they do the Infogenesis charges, they need to know what posting master has been assigned to that group, so they can charge to the right spot.
So this is why there was so much confusion when we were trying to do the config with Genesis and Opera.
Yeah, because you got to know that's what
Because
the posting
we're
masters
not
are.
utilizing it this way.
Yeah, so see, you could see they had, she had charged two banquet charges. They go right from Infogenis into here, and then at the end, she paid with her Visa card. We closed the folio out. You got a 0 folio now. This offsets the banquet charges of the payment. This Visa shows up on the hotel bank. So when the hotel front desk agent prints their bank for the day, that Visa charge will show up on theirs as a collection.
And we recorded in the hotel as a
And it would be the same thing if that was a
offsets on
check.
the credit card.
It'd be the same if that was a check. So the check would go into their bank and be part of their till. Then they go to the cage, put it in, the cage counts it in, and it offsets the hotel bank, and
Yeah.
good to go, right?
And then we post it from the matrix that this is how much so-and-so should have had, this is how much they had, overs and shorts, does whatever, and then if it's a credit card, the credit card audit offsets it.
So basically, it works the same way as one of your guests doing a room charge from one of the restaurants. Same principle. But you got to have the banquet, the sales and catering, and the BEO module to set that up, because you want to be able to assign your groups posting masters that Infogenesis can charge into. Without that, you won't be able to do it.
So can you go into config and can we look at just the transaction codes you guys have set up? In reporting. So under miscellaneous reports,
Which one do you want to go to?
go down one. Up.
You go to reports? Which one do you want?
Just start TRAN.
Oh, transactions? Yeah. Want to do transaction codes?
Yeah. So do you have that 9002 in there?
Though, that's a posting master.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a posting.
So that's not.
So you got to remember, a posting master
So that, okay.
is basically, instead of it being a room with a room type, you have a posting master. So you have a room type. Let's say it's a king room, and then the room number is 114. Let's just say. Sorry, my pin's dying. So a posting master would be, instead of the room type would be posting master, because that's the actual room type. It's a posting master. It's not really a room, but it's a posting master. That's how I operate. And the room number would be the posting master number. So you have to create, when you do your setup, you have to not only have your room numbers, but you have to have an allocated amount of posting master numbers that you can assign
But
to.
that's unlimited, isn't it?
No, it's not unlimited.
You can like up to.
So the
999.
posting master serves at what is exactly does that serve as?
That serves your,
Folio.
as your folio number.
That's what- It just
Folio.
doesn't take a room out of inventory. It's not a lot, it's not a
Right.
guest room.
It'd be the same, like, if you wanted to do, let me see if I can show you guys the.
You could also track
Okay,
comp salary.
so let's say I had somebody come in and they wanted to do an RV dump, right? So you'd go in and you do it like, we have a passerby button, you could do it, but if you wanted to do it, you could do it like, so you'd go into, the guest comes in and says, my name is Jack, right? I'm already in there. Okay, so then you go, okay, so Jack's in. It's just gonna be a day use thing, right? Room type, well, he's not staying in a room type, or he's not going into a space, he's not going in an RV, but we're gonna use a posting master to collect that money.
Gotcha.
So
Right.
posting master is a room type.
Yep. So see where you go down, you select, so here's all the list of posting masters. Now, these used to be old hotel rooms that we converted into HR. I just turned them into posting masters because the opera, you pay a licensing fee and you can't just get rid of them.
I guess the other side, but the other side of it is that
Yeah.
if at the Sands, if they have 840 rooms, we can go to 900 rooms, and you just created all these other
You can,
areas
yeah.
that
It's better to use the 4 digits, because then you don't get them, well, you guys have 800, well, 4 digits. So as you can see, how we have all these posting masters that you can assign? I mean, we never have this many in at one time. So I'm gonna assign this transaction of the RV dump to posting master 9002. Okay? Now I'm gonna go ahead and create this and post it, and then print my financial transactions, so you guys can see how it would come out on the, okay? And then I'll just reverse it.
Let's see, you're gonna void it, right?
Yeah, I'll void it. So then you do a rate, a rate code would be,
Go ahead, you need a lot of revenue this month. Jeff.
yeah, right. I know, yeah, this month it was a little bit, it's BPM. Rate code.
Can you give yourself a AAA discount?
Yeah, I give myself a triple A. So it'd be RV park. No, PM. I haven't done one of these in a while. Source code would be PM. Or that would be a walk-in. So the guy walked in, so same day. So see, I think this needs to be PM. Okay, yeah. So rate code, it's a posting master. Market code, it's a posting master. And the guy, we'll just say it's a same day deal. Typically, as it was an RV dump, we just do walk, and he walked into pay. So we know when we ran a report, check in, because you got to check the posting master in it to be able to post to it, or take a payment. Okay, does I want to go to cash sharing? Yep. Okay, so let's say I paid you $10. We're just going to put an RV dump.
Give me a second, that's what it says to you.
So then,
We
okay,
have
so
RV dump.
so I'm taking in the payment. I don't need a receipt. So as you can see that, so you can see the room number's 9002. That's the posting master. We got the money. Now we got to tell Opera where it came from or why we took it in. RV dump. Zeros that folio out. $10. Right? Check it out. No, his print tasks aren't set up. Anyways, we could look at the folio. So I check it out, and the guest would get this folio. Jack, posting master. Zero folio. And this basically the same. This is the same thing for banquets. That'd be a banquet charge. That'd be payment. Opera, you take the payment, whether it's positive or negative payment. You still have to in Opera tell it why. Why did you take the payment, or why did you give the credit? Then if you go to my financial transactions. Al, don't let me forget to fix that.
Oh, no, I won't. Trust me. I don't want to get a call at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
So when the cashiers in Opera end their day and they end their bank, they turn in their cashier's slip, they turn in their bank slip from the cage, they turn in their financials and all their paperwork and all their folios that go to audit for the night
Looks
before.
like this.
Yep. And each one's signed a number. So you'll see I only have one, I'll probably have one thing on there to show the,
You should let her go through and let's see if Chrissy goes, Jack, $10.
$10, she will too.
She will,
Yeah,
yeah.
see, there it is. And if that was, if I took a check, you'd have the check and then the check number. And it would all get processed through the hotel bank.
Now, if you had this and you didn't pay for it right away, let's say we're requiring you to pay for it in 60 days or
You
whatever.
want to do advance deposit.
Okay.
So, okay, don't let me forget to fix that.
Oh, you can fix it now. if you want. So we,
'Cause he will get a phone call saying, Jack, why are you $10? My auditors will question it
Oh,
about the
yeah.
shortage. So,
Check it out still, but we'll fix it real quick.
Are you just gonna move it to window 2 or leave it in window 1?
No, you gotta offset it, so. Mike's mouse needs some serious
I'm
help.
gonna stop this real quick.
This block
Okay.
in sales and catering with a food event with it. So in order to create a posting master, you go into, because we gotta remember that posting masters are along the same lines of a room. It's just assigned a posting master number instead of a room number.
Okay.
So see, Carson Tahoe Hospital has been, this event has been assigned that posting master. So see, it looks just like a guest reservation. The only difference is it's not a room type, but a posting master, and the room number is the number that's been assigned to you be used as a posting master. See? See all the different room types?
Got it.
But it's not a room, it's actually just a posting master. And then we've assigned all these, so the room type is a PM, right, posting master, and all these numbers have been assigned as posting masters. Whereas like if that was room 101, that room type would be a king,
Okay.
or that room type would be a double
So
queen.
you can recycle these numbers then once
Yeah,
nine oh two check.
Yep, once you
the
check
event's
it out,
over
it
with.
recycles. Yep.
Okay.
It goes into a dirty status or a clean status, just like as if a room did.
Okay,
So it's basically treated just like a room. You check it out, you check it back in.
get it.
It's same principle, it's just assigned to posting master number, or posting master instead of an actual room, like a king type or.
And you can, and while it's, you could put it, you could go into the billing part of it and post an advance deposit too. See? And it just it doesn't hit your guest ledger, it hits your deposit ledger.
But you can't sell these as rooms though. Opera won't let you sell them as rooms. You just sell them as posting masters. So like if you wanted to book a reservation, you wouldn't be able to, like a front desk agent wanted to. See, it's not in there.
So what other types of things do you use posting masters for?
We use it for everything that we run through the hotel. I mean, typically it's
From
group.
an F&B standpoint?
From an F&B standpoint, from group, like we do huge bowling tournaments like SP. So we used, the bowling center brings checks in because people prepay for these bowling tournaments. We have SP blocks because they have tons of rooms with us. So we use the SP blocks so when those checks come in for their entry fees for bowling, we post it into Opera as an advanced deposit. So then when the weekend comes, you'll have like $5,000 sitting in there in advance deposit. Bowling center will bring us over, okay, X amount of dollars goes to lineage fees, X amount of dollar goes to prize fund, and then we have transaction codes that we had set up that we can put those in that will take away from their advance deposit. So then by the time we're done that weekend, they have a zero folio. And all those checks went through the hotel bank, right, and hotel cashiers, and then they went to the cage.
You're just settling up the receivable side of it.
Correct.
We're doing the line.
You're doing the lineage, yeah.
So they bring you over a detail sheet which shows all of these various
Correct.
breakdowns,
Correct.
which total to what he has sitting in there.
So-
Mhm.
He doesn't actually put the revenue that he was referring to, but that's what it makes up.
Yeah, yeah.
The revenue is
exactly.
recognized through the bowling audit.
Right, right. So the hotel don't get it, we're just using the hotel to run it through. So like Lou said, you not get
So
a bunch
do you
of
run
checks over
any
to.
of the associated
Right.
purchases through Opera with that?
No, no.
So let's say a golf group comes in and you get like a $10,000 advance deposit, and part of that is some banquets that they're gonna do.
Oh, yes, we do that.
Some
Green fees.
prize money,
Yeah,
green
green
fees,
fees,
so
yes.
you're gonna run all of those associated costs through Opera?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull, very good question. Let's see if we
Yeah,
can pull it.
so-
So where this would apply is like the chest one, right?
Right. That's exactly what I was just
Let me
thinking.
see if I
And I
can
knew
bring
it
it.
Because we're
Right.
hunting through payables right now to try and figure out the whole piece of the puzzle.
Let's
Whereas
see,
if it was all
uh,
centralized, it'd be easy.
Right.
On our hotel audit, it would show up on the matrix that we come up, it would show up as green fees, and we would book it.
Well, the green fees is one breakout
Right.
that we do on that, because that's a flow through to the
So is this an Opera report?
Yes.
matrix.
And it's a
That's what we use to
Sure.
prepare our journal entries.
And that basically summarizes the three ledgers, the guest, deposit, and the AR. Ins and outs changes. On the top are the debits and credits, on the side is actually what got posted to what transaction codes. So it breaks down what your revenue is.
So Opera, you'd offset, so if they put $10,000 in, we have a posting in Opera that says green fees. So when we get the receipts in from the golf courses, they bring them to us and they say, here is a green fee for the golf course for $5,000. We go into Opera, we get a posting for green fees for $5,000, and that takes away from the $10,000 credit that they had.
So then you route that through AP?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Basically, Sharon up here
But it
matches
comes
it
to
up.
hotel
Yeah.
and then it goes to.
Or our sales manager.
Our sales manager, the sales manager, Sharon will do it, because in the.
She'll send over an approved invoice for us to pay. Jack will hit 26 whatever account code, which goes into as a liability to be paid, and Socorro and the county relates it by writing the check out. So if that particular account always zeros, we treat that just like a zero account too. The only time we ever have a problem is sometimes we get the payment ahead of when it gets written off in hotel. And we have to journal it out, otherwise we ended up with a debit in a credit account. That's a simple reversing entry, so.
So now, let's say everything runs through and is applied against that 10,000, and there's a remainder, like 1,500 unused or something.
We would either do, if we did a rebate check, we had a contract that we would do a rebate for that. We'd actually do a refund check posting to offset that, and then we'd fill out the paperwork to process the refund check.
That's if it
So much cleaner.
falls as a rebate.
Right,
We
or
do-
it could be a package profit. Let's say that we built in the breakage to where we knew we were gonna make $200 off that group. Then the posting, we have a posting in there that you would just post off as package profit to zero the folio out.
Which is that
And then
credit
it
line
would go
item you
against
see in our.
sales or marketing or whoever the group.
It's that credit line item that I have in my P and L,
Yeah, that
Breakage.
breakage, yeah,
package breakage, yeah.
which actually adds up,
Yeah, that's, I mean, that's, probably $15,000 line item or
yeah.
more.
So
For the year?
It just offsets, yeah, everything, you just run everything through Opera. That's why you have your transaction codes and you have your posting codes.
So you have like a GL account where you just throw all those, is it
Mhm.
just part of G&A or?
Yeah. We kept it down in the expense categories because it used to run debit or credit. Sometimes we'd run the other way where they actually poured more drinks or did more of what we had as listed in the original package. So we might have had them down for $200 in drinks, and it was unlimited drinks on their package, and they drank more than $200 worth.
So,
And we'd end up with a debit.
so by utilizing the system, you can track your profitability. And that's where we do, we have a hole.
Right, we have a lot of debate on it because there is no precise,
And also,
Yeah.
again, we wouldn't be waiting, remember how we waited for that email from, I don't know who, and to give us the convention room,
Right.
because your renewal.
And
you
that's
would
how,
have to do
that's
that.
how this whole process is. Oh, let me check with so-and-so. Oh, she's off for the next 2 days. We'll get back with you. Oh, I don't have a whole lot of information. Check with, and it just,
Because the Reno Convention
just-
Authority wants you to split out on their room tax exactly how much of your revenue is convention room. And we have to, last 2 months, Stacy and I have been waiting for a certain person, I forget her name, to send us that information.
guess what though?
What?
I already have December's.
Leave right on. So, and this would eliminate all that, because all you would have to do is go, run a source code for December for convention, or whatever,
Right.
and it would run through,
Which
like.
is how, I like this a lot. I really hope we have this module, and if not, Lou, I think we should buy it.
I would imagine, I haven't looked at the CapEx, because that's what I was thinking. I was thinking this may already, either we already have it, or it's probably as listed as a CapEx item. So, I need to circle back around and find out.
I don't think we have it actually, now that I think about it, because I think when they went to the gaming conference, they met with someone from Opera just to take a look at what the sales and catering module was.
But like what Jack said, once you get the sales and catering module to make your life, is to build your menu, and that would make it just make it so much easier.
mean, you could do it with just a regular folio, but you don't have all those details of the banquet event order details.
Yeah, you
of
gotta-
it.
yeah,
But you could go out there and establish
Yeah.
you could ring it in and support it with just a contract
Yeah.
with a room number. You could do the same thing, but
It would just
it
say
wouldn't be
banquet
nearly
service.
as slick as this.
Yeah.
You'd have to-
I guess you have 800 rooms, you could designate 800 as your posting master and run everything through the room 800.
Well, I suppose you can create more rooms, right? That's why I was saying.
Well,
if-
depends.
if
Well,
there's
it,
even-
it depends. The
The
thing,
license
yeah,
fees.
here's the thing with opera is,
Right, I see what you're saying.
yeah, when, if you try to take rooms off your PMS, they'll lock your opera. It says you are out of contract. And then you have to, yeah, because we started with 146 rooms, so we're down to 142. And what we did to get around the licensing thing is I created like room 101 and 102, we turned it to HR. You can go in and I just turned those rooms into posting masters.
Yeah, and that's what that's, I was thinking the exact same.
Same thing. You
Yeah.
could, if you wanted to turn 30 of your rooms into posting masters, you could do that. If,
It depends on what you're licensed for.
Can you go back when they reopen those rooms?
You know, quite frankly, if we don't have it, we may have some rooms that will be under construction, or there might be a block of rooms that will be under construction, which brings me.
I'd like to look at your guys' opera just to see what you guys got and what you, and I could maybe say, hey, this is what you probably.
No, I think it's a good idea. That's a good idea, so.
And I could say,
I've got the
And quite frankly,
Right.
from here.
I'm sure Rose is very skilled in this.
oh yeah,
But,
I'm sure
but I
she's,
think, you know, once, you know, we kind of bounce ideas back and
Yeah.
forth, I mean, for me, I wanna button up our any holes we have, and I don't wanna lose any revenue, because I think we have.
right,
So,
right.
or, to better keep track of the events, whether it be cribbage or.
Yeah, you guys need that sales and catering module.
We do.
You keep
And I
track
don't
of
think
your-
we have it, so I think we're kind of back
That's
to
because
square
that
one
you're
to
gonna keep track. You can
clean this
run,
up until
you
we get
you can
that.
run how much business a group does with you. You go into accounts. You wanna find out, like, what's D9? Some are big golfs. Probably know Jackie's name or.
I don't know what that, is it a licensing fee, or you purchase it, or is it both?
You pay for Opera, when you pay your yearly subscription to Opera, they license you to have so many licensing fee rooms. So they're probably licensed for 800 plus whatever posting masters they have.
It would make sense if the license was broke down.
I would think that your property would have
Like 850 runs, 150
a
posting.
posting masters maybe.
Maybe,
You guys need that many of them, maybe 100 posting masters. Because the less licensing, less rooms you have, the lower your licensing fee is gonna be.
So, you know, we need to look at that as well, and understand, what does our contract say? And how many rooms do we actually use? And is there, you know, I don't know what the savings would be to, I don't know if we're in a 3-year
And then
contract. We probably need to look at the contract to understand
Yeah.
how many rooms we have, and as we're going forward, you know, we'll be under construction, do we need that much?
Did you reach out to Joe Ferguson with Oracle?
No.
Because he is a good one if you have these kind of questions also.
We have, so one of the things that
I got a response, it's too much.
From who?
Matt.
Does he know?
Well, he was the one that was researching it back a while ago.
So, yeah, we did
Yeah.
engage Joe Ferguson, and
Yeah.
one of the things I did is I went under you guys, because you guys have less rooms.
Right,
To get some training modules,
right.
which we have, to log on to the Oracle site. So we did pay for that, but it was significantly cheaper, and I said, okay, I don't wanna talk about Carson, I don't wanna talk about Sands.
Right.
How about if I do this for Carson City?
Way
Because
cheaper.
Yeah,
'Cause the
so it's
room
way cheaper.
numbers, yeah. Because your licensing fee up there's like, you have 4 times, 5 times the amount of rooms we got, so.
And the key word to Opera is nothing is cheap.
No.
Won't that work?
They want $10,000 every time you turn.
Yeah, I think they wanted like $4,000, and I ended up getting it for like $750 by
Yeah.
going it through
Through Carson.
Carson.
Yeah. But he should be able to, if he can't help you with this stuff like that, though, he should be able to refer you to people that can help you with the information that you need. I mean, because he does sell the stuff, but he should be able to turn you on to the people, and I have a phone number for the sales and catering guy too in my office. He's a pretty good guy too. I could probably look that up for you and email it off to you.
Who was the guy that sat with our training when we had the upgrade?
That's the sales and catering guy, but he has not, all he does is, he just does the sales and catering training. But probably Joe would be he can at least turn you on to somebody that can answer a lot of the questions like, what would it cost us to get this, and, you know.
Yeah, and, you know, we have a CapEx budget, and
Right,
Mr. East would need to approve it, and
right.
I imagine most of that's spoken for, but if we can, you know, show that it would
Right.
help us keeping track of our revenue
That would do.
yeah. And I think there's a lot of legwork. I think we have a lot of lost labor of trying to prove, and then we kind of have an idea of what profitability is, and
Right.
it's not, so
Well, like you say, right now, you're going off Excel spreadsheets. I mean, these are checks and balances on the spreadsheets, the pricing, does it go the same as it's really going in, or is it getting in as less? Are you really collecting all the money, or?
my concern is collecting money.
Right. Opera, you don't collect the money, the folio's open with a balance due.
Yep.
And it goes through your own account.
And then I get a phone call going, hey, why do you got $1,000 sitting on a folio? It's not closed, it's been over 30 days. So then we're like, we call the customer, like, hey, you owe us $1,000, you can pay us.
Yeah, we look at our receivables
Yeah.
every month,
Yeah.
and our guest ledger, our city ledger, and our advance deposits.
How often do you guys do like your Expedia billing and things like that?
Once a month. We rec,
Monthly?
yeah, we're ACH'd with them, so I have, which is way cooler because we get a lower commission. And they invoice us, my not audit does the reconcile, and then she sends it up to Socorro, and then Socorro approves the ACH, and it's a done deal. That's what Expedia booking
I want
is.
to talk about that a little bit more.
And then
So,
when it comes through the bank, it goes against commission.
Commissionable.
so we're getting checks, right?
Well, no, we're getting ACH.
Are we ACH?
Yeah, but Andrea's billing it once a week, and then Rosa suggested she do it twice a week. I mean, not right now in the off season, but over around.
So you guys are paying your commission to Expedia twice a month?
No, I'm talking.
What type of Expedia do you have? Do you have Expedia Collects or Expedia Hotel Collects?
I think we just recently went to the one where they come in with a credit card and pay at the time. Or there's a credit card tied to
The
their
virtual-
account.
Oh,
that's
virtual card.
That's a Hotel Collects.
Okay.
See, we charge that up front.
Yeah.
We don't let it roll. We charge, if it's an Expedia reservation, and they book it with their, I have the system set up right now to where when we roll that, when we get prepaid for that.
Yeah.
We don't settle it once a week or twice a week.
So then if there's a cancellation or something, you're not eating it, you're the one to issue the refund back
That's
to
it.
Expedia.
And I have to approve it.
Yeah.
See, that's brilliant.
If they say,
Because we're writing stuff off from last spring because it's, oh, there were no shows or,
No.
you know, and
You still have
Expedia's
money.
not very responsive.
because if I'm
and-
sold out on a sold out weekend, it's not my fault that the Expedia guest doesn't, I mean, we have a no-show policy.
Right?
If you don't show up, you get charged.
Right.
Yeah.
We do offer the courtesy of, okay, well, we'll charge them for the one night, and then we won't charge them for the rest of their stay, but they do get charged for the one night they don't show up.
The only, and Jack can attest, the only dark horse in that thing is, while you've got Expedia on the phone, see now, Expedia is very client-based, just like the credit card
Mhm.
companies. They're not gonna wanna piss off their customer. While they're calling you on the phone saying, hi, this guest had this kind of issue, it snowed, he can't drive in the snow, whatever, we wanna know if we can cancel without a charge. While they're on the phone, they are canceling that virtual credit card. So you can't build that.
So we don't do that. My night audit, so let's say I have 30 prepaid Expedia, my night audit at night already has those credit cards authorized for the day.
Because they'll do that. They will turn off that credit card while they're on the phone with you. And they'll say, okay, thank you for trying. You'll go out and you'll try to build a credit card, it'll come back declined.
Wow.
So we pre-authorize all the
I think we
hotel
should
collects.
try and coordinate a meeting kind of with Rosa and
I agree.
Laura and just kind of review Sam's policies versus these policies and try and come to standard operating.
Yeah,
That's kind of why we're here.
yeah. Yeah, because we, you know, I mean, that's kind of one of my priorities. I want to make sure I get paid.
Right.
I mean, it's a big deal.
I mean, we do a good job, but we do such a high volume through Expedia that I think,
I really like the prepaid idea.
Yeah, it's already prepaid, so if they don't show up, they're the ones fighting to get their money back. We already got our money.
and I
You
could
know
be
what I mean?
wrong, but I'm pretty
Right.
sure that they don't charge that until checkout.
See,
But I need someone from the hotel side to say whether
then
that's
you're-
true or not.
Because that charge, that credit card is authorized, like say it's, you went out and it's good for $150. For whatever reason, say room and tax, the system rounded up to $150 and a penny, it will not take it. It'll decline the card.
I don't have
And
any,
you've
I don't
only
have
got
any
so
on
many
arrival, or I would
You've
show
only
you.
got so many shots at that card too before it'll say, hey, this is fraud, and turn it all off.
Yeah,
And
you
now
can
you're
al-
fine with Expedia.
You can, they only got the cards where you can collect the, so a check-in, like, let me show you this room right here. If this was an Expedia reservation, this rate code would be Expedia. Right here it would say Expedia collect. And then right here where it says Visa card, it'd have the Expedia virtual card. Right here, if you click that box, you'd click, that would be the Expedia virtual card. So let's say you just wanted to do them a check-in. Then you swipe down here would be the customer's credit card for the deposit. So then you just change these rules of, so you want to do, so for Expedia, you would just do the, whatever amount you wanted to do. So if you did 5, you could do the amount. Put the amount of what the room is. Then down here you put, you'd want to click on, let's just do amount and do a $50 deposit. So you can pre-authorize up multiple credit cards at one time at check-in, the moment they check in.
But as long as you have the authorization on the virtual one that Expedia gave you, you're good. If you don't get it, you're risking it.
The Expedia ones, we just do payments. We do it as an advance deposit. So when you check it in, the advance deposit rolls into the folio.
So it's like what Jack said, so if they cancel the guest house, let them fight with
Yeah,
Expedia.
yeah, I'm not gonna fight you.
And I'm not 100% sure how we do it, but
Yeah,
I want to
well-
find out.
What are the 3 Expedias? Expedia collects, Expedia hotel collects, and Expedia non.
No, we only do 2. Expedia collect, and then we have hotel collect through Expedia. You only have 2. And booking's all self-pay. Booking doesn't collect any of the payments. And the reason why Expedia does is because Expedia offers, you can buy your flight and book your car.
So, and then you book, obviously, the commissions you're paying to Expedia, you book those as a commission expense? Because we're not,
Yeah.
How you looking?
because they're afraid it affect the ADR so much.
It doesn't come, the commissions come out after the ADR runs.
Yeah.
Comes out after ADR.
Really, the only
Your
commission expense that we're seeing in the GL is pretty much Booking.com.
You're booking, because
So we're not getting a true idea.
your
of
rate,
the
your
picture.
rate will run the same, and your commission will come off after. So after you.
So it just kind of raise.
It comes out of your commission expense. It keeps your ADR is the same.
Yeah.
Doesn't affect your ADR at all. But it just, your commissions will go up. The higher the ADR, the higher the commission they get.
Right.
So if you're selling the room for $90 and they get 21%, your commissions are gonna go way up. But it's not gonna affect your ADR. If they're selling the room for $80, you still have an $80 ADR, but now you're paying less commission because you're only paying it on $80.
You know, so it's about 20% of our ADR
It's about 20%.
of the
So how do you
OTRs.
pay the commission with Expedia?
We do, they invoice us once a month, and then we do a reconcile on night audit. So I have my main night auditor, Des, on Saturdays. She does all my commission expenses for me. And then she goes in, reconciles on the Expedia website into what our system has, makes sure everything matches, and then approves it, and it goes up to accounting for a check. or well, as they say.
ACH.
And how are we doing at the Sands?
I have no idea. I just know it's not a line item that runs through the GL.
So what are you doing with the?
So it
the
must
balance?
be, the ADR must be inflated because it's including the commissioning expense. That would be what I'm thinking, that we're paying it direct as,
So to me, that's a
what you're
hotel
saying-
revenue.
So what you're saying is that,
Directly out of hotel revenue, it's like a discount.
right,
Yeah.
right,
that's what
So-
I'm
so
thinking,
if
but I
they
would
sold-
have to see it.
right. If they sold it for 100, right, but when they come here, we're only getting 80, because they've already taken their piece.
So to have the hotel revenue be understated and expense understated.
And when Expedia does their.
See, they don't get their
Facebook,
piece
what do you
until we
put?
pay them their piece. You know, we collect $100. It's $100, it's $100. Then we pay them commission on $100.
I have to research that, how we do that a little bit more.
Yeah, 'cause it,
Because you'd be kind of be double dipping if you gave them their piece now, and then you had to be commissioned on it later.
well, that's group.
Yeah, that's Groupon, yeah,
Well, I saw the group.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Groupon's horrible.
So just so I understand the process, so I go on Expedia right now and say, hey, March, I'm gonna be in Carson City, I want a room for a week,
Mhm.
and I book it. You get that information right away, obviously, to block off the room, and
Yeah.
you charge the card at that point in time?
No, we charge the day of arrival.
Okay.
Day of arrival. And I think those virtual cards are only good day of arrival too.
Okay. And
Because you still have a 24-hour cancellation policy, so they can cancel.
And that
in
could be
24
what
hours.
we're doing at the Sands, I'm not really sure. For some reason, I'm thinking we do it at checkout, but I'm obviously not the one doing that transaction, so. But I'll find out, because I like that.
And then you want to get a valid, because with Opera, you have if you don't have a valid credit card, you can't post to a room. So if you're a cash customer, in Opera, there's a button that's like, if you, let me see if I can use this arrivals again. This is a comp room, comp to marketing, has a no post on. When that no post on, they can't charge their room. No credit card, no post.
Yeah, no post means they can't charge room charges, right?
So you have to have a credit card on there authorized. If you have a credit card authorized, then they have charging privileges. Without the credit card, they have no room charging privileges, because it says a no post. What else we got?
What do you want to show me?
I think
What else do I need to know, Jack?
you're got a good handle on a good start. I think it's a
Now
sales
I
and
just need to
catering
go and
thing.
pick the.
I think you guys really need to look, that's gonna be a huge thing for you guys, is getting that sales and catering thing going. Or figuring out a way of, I don't even know a way you could use Opera. Cause doing your banquets through an Excel spreadsheet and not being able to track, it just, you need to put it into,
So I think we need Rosa and Chris Weller.
What about using
Yeah,
the
I
hotel
agree.
room as a PMS in the short term?
the short term, you guys could just you could use a hotel room, just leave it checked in for 30 days. And then post everything to that
Or
room.
you could use a couple, three of them, if you had 2 or 3 banquets. The only thing you wouldn't be able to do is go in and produce all these BEOs, where you put in all of the
Mhm.
various event.
But yeah, you could
Still settle it through there, just like somebody charging a meal out of the restaurant, only it would be a banquet, and it might have numerous items on it.
Say that again,
That's
so
it's
if we
a
were to
grand total.
set up
Like, let's say you just
a
took.
posting master, right?
Well, for you guys right now, it wouldn't really work because you don't have posting masters, I take it, because it doesn't sound.
Well, we don't, but we obviously can.
You could-
That's not anything that would require configuration
Well,
on
you could-
Opera's
you-
part, right?
You could just use, let's say you took, like Lou said, you're taking 5, let's say you have 3 rooms you guys never rent.
Okay.
You can use those room numbers as mock posting masters.
And they may be doing that because, you know, when we looked at the receivables, you see chess, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they may be doing something like that.
And then you could just run everything through those room numbers as if they were posting masters.
And then anytime the banquet person wants to ring up and settle a banquet.
So you just
go
charge it to that room.
Charge it to that folio.
They do all the
Yeah.
posting.
And then
The
you leave that
person would
room
come to
checked in
the-
for a month at a time,
They
and
would
then you
come
have
to-
a folio that long with everything that happened in that.
The person would come to the hotel and make the payment there.
And I
take
think
the
that's the
payment
way,
in.
I think they would maybe using it that way.
That's
Yeah.
actually how.
And then you can still take the payment at the hotel instead of dropping it at the cage.
That's actually how one of the hotels I worked at handled their comps. And obviously it's a different comping structure, but they had every comp department that could comp, like G&A or F&B Electric or whatever, set up as a posting master. The same executive or somebody with comping privileges goes into the restaurant, eats, they just charge it off. So at the end of the month, what I would do is I would go in and settle off at the end that posting master to whatever,
I think that's what we are doing, because
and then.
I
Yeah,
take those comps and then expense them out
But
to the
every-
right
but
department
everything was
based,
run
and they'll
through
get
the
them in
opera.
central location, so.
But everything was run off through the opera system, so at the end of the night, when the general ledger person, whoever was doing the general ledger, they'd see the opera matrix and say, okay, 9,005 is G&A executive, 9,010 is F&B electrical, and they would allocate that expense, that comp expense to whatever
But here we have actual account
Yes.
codes
we do. So,
Right.
to expense them to.
like I said, I don't know how the comping structure is. Obviously, it's gonna be greater than.
Well,
a
you
smaller
remember
property.
that entry I have to do before
Oh,
you're
yeah,
good
the
for.
AGO8 or something like that.
Yeah, where I have to go in and do the pivot table based off the raw data and.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
oh, yeah, I was telling that to Bob.
Yeah, I think
Pivot
that's
table to
it.
do a journal entry?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, that's ugly.
so I think that is.
I think that's.
That they're using that as like a posting master.
Yeah, so, but,
Makes sense.
Yeah, so every day, our stuff's settled, well, our comps are almost settled every day.
Wow. It's because you get a guest in here, with, let's say you get a player in here for 3 nights, what's Bob's referring to is,
Yeah.
you get a guest in here with a 3-night stay as a player and he has comps for 3 nights, usually the comp payment doesn't get settled till he checks out on the 3rd night. In Bob's perfect world, he'd like that posting done every day, but.
I'd like them to settle that day.
He'd like that payment done in every.
because their
year.
comp
Right.
revenue should match their comp expenses.
Right,
Bob.
Yeah, that runs off just a little bit.
Yes.
In the long run, it usually settles to 0.
No,
We're waiting for that horizon.
it's close, it's better, right? It's big, that's a big, problem if you have somebody in, let's say you have an event that was comped and, each
So,
night you have $3,000
do you run a
comped.
report that shows you what's unsettled to reconcile your GL account that, or no? Because we run ours, I think we consider it like a clearing type account, but there's always a little balance left over at the end of the month, and I'm thinking it's just those extra nights that have gone unsettled.
The comps that have
Yeah.
gone unsettled, yeah.
But it'd be nice if there was a report I could run to prove that.
Well, there's a comp settlement report out of opera.
You're talking about
And
comps?
There's an open folio report, isn't there?
Yeah, I think
If
you
I
can do
remember
a
right, there's an
folio.
open folio report. Showing
But we
all
don't know
folios.
if,
It shows like,
Yeah,
say the
because they
folio is due to be checked out on the 12th. Well, you run a report on the 25th, that folio wasn't checked out, but it still has an open folio with a balance under it. It's gonna show up on the open folio report. It's like an open check report.
and it would show you if it was like a management comp
It would
type
show you
situation?
exactly what, whoever is attached to that room, whether it be a posting master that was due to be checked out.
Correct me if
or-
I'm wrong, it's not gonna show it was a comp until you actually settle it.
Oh,
You gotta
absolutely,
settle it
yeah.
as a-
It's not gonna show, yeah.
It's just gonna show an open folio.
Why don't you say open folio?
You would have to go into
You have
the
to-
folio.
you have to-
But
Opera, you'd have to
on the
do
other
payment
side of
to
it,
the
you're
department.
recognizing it as comp revenue.
Yeah.
Because you know it's a comp revenue night. But on
Right,
the
you're-
settlement side,
right.
it's still just an
You're
open
not having,
folio.
you have the comp revenue in there, but you don't, but
Don't
you
have the
We don't have
comp,
the
we don't
comp
have the comp
expense,
settlement.
Right.
And that's particularly like, say you have a comp guest that's staying the last week of the month. Well, we've recorded the revenue, like say the last 3 days of the month, oh, revenue. But now they check out the second day of the next month.
Right.
That expense is now gonna hit in that month instead of.
There's that,
Yeah.
that's why Bob likes it every day like that.
It's kind of balance.
Yeah, we had
So
one,
do you do
we had
anything
one
on
last
your
year
end
with
so that
the,
comp expense balances to comp revenue?
No,
At the end of the
usually it
month?
rolls and it rolls back next month, so we're off, usually between months a little bit.
Okay.
We do keep track of it between what the comp revenue, comp expense is, so we know what that amount is. And we had a big one time, and.
yeah, cause the golf fan.
Because it
of the
didn't get
comp.
settled till the next month, it was a couple, $3,000 or $4,000.
It was $9,000.
It was $9,000.
Yeah.
It was $9,000, and we had to go back and clean that up.
I mean, if you can tell what it is and you know the amount.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we knew
know,
what it
we knew
was.
exactly what it
If you,
was.
if you know it, you should just accrue and reverse it.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, perfect.
Because we're like, wait a minute. Well, I think when it happened, I went right up to you and said, hey, Bob, got some bad news for you.
Yeah, that was a fun.
No, I think it was a phone call from the county, saying, what the hell, Jack?
Oh, that's
No,
a bad
it's
news
good
for
that,
you.
it's good that you guys are working together and you know where exactly where you're at.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't get away with anything. He's usually right Johnny on the spot to fix it, so